and with all the irregularities that you think your hair has, it's perfect and it's beautiful and it's yours. Hey, my name is Tasha. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about whatever I want because I'm multifaceted. It is my 3-year loc anniversary. 3 years loc. Just a quick little recap before I start talking about what I really want to talk about in this video. I washed my hair. I now use shampoo and conditioner, and not just shampoo anymore. I use shampoo and conditioner. Today I use the Giovanni 50/50 balancing conditioner and shampoo. And then when I got out the shower, I went ahead and sprayed my hair with rose water like I normally do and put some oil on it. I have a combination of jojoba oil, which I've been using since the beginning, and I put some peppermint essential oil in there. Then I went ahead and retwisted my hair. So as you can see now, I'm trying to let it dry. I did blow dry it a little bit to really speed up the process. I'm gonna let it air dry the rest of the way while I do my makeup. And then let's talk. Let's have a chat about loc irregularities. I know people have all these dreams of, like, even before their locks looking a certain way. When they first get them done, they're like, you know, they see pictures of other people and they're like, I hope my locks look like that. And that's not realistic, because literally locks are like fingerprints. Everybody's are going to be different, and you don't really know what they're going to look like until after you start the process and you let them grow. Like, you literally won't know how they mature until they do. So it's like, surprise. Even if you get the same size parting as someone else, even if you think your hair is the same density as someone else, like, you really won't know how your locks look until you do them. And that's just the nature of it. Your locks are gonna do what your locks do, and you can't help that, and they can't either. So people scroll through pages and pages of loc inspiration, lusting over other people's hair, hoping that, you know, one day their hair's gonna be laying down their back and it's thick enough to do all these different styles, and you never really know what's gonna happen. So you kind of have to be realistic with yourself and decide from the beginning, I'm going to love my locks for however they turn out. And that's kind of how I went into this journey, deciding however they turn out, I'll be fine with it. And that's a little bit why I want to talk about loc irregularities today, because I want to talk about things that make us feel like our locks aren't good enough, or that maybe we aren't built for this journey, when in reality, neither one of those things is the truth. One of the things about my locks that is pretty irregular is the fact that my parts aren't even. If you've been following my journeys from the beginning, you know that I did my locks myself. I started with 2-strand twists, and all throughout my hair, in the back and in the front, regardless of whether I could see it or not, I tried to really go by the density of my hair, and my parts are all over the place. You know, I have a middle part here and I kind of have a side part, but for the most part, the parting of the actual locks they are wild. Especially in the back. It's giving hexagons and pentagons, and, you know, they're not perfectly shaped, perfectly spaced. They're not all the same thickness. And that's because my hair grows a certain way in my head. You know, there's parts of my hair that are thicker than others. There's more hair on one side of my head than the other. So there is more locks on one side of my head than the other. And so as I was twisting my hair, I accounted for all of that, all of those different circumstances, and my parts aren't regular. Sometimes I get self-conscious about that when I look at, you know, people online, or sometimes I see people in person and their styles and stuff, and I'm like, wow, those, you know, those parts look like super sleek and super straight and, you know, really beautiful. But then I think, like, who is really up in my scalp like that? And if you are, back up, okay? People don't really care, is what I've come to realize. Nobody is worried about that. I get so many compliments on my hair when I style it, or even when it's just out, and not once has anyone ever, even sometimes people have questions, whatever, not once has anyone ever commented on the fact that my parts aren't straight. Like, that's not even anyone's concern. Literally no one. So that's an insecurity that I kind of had to get over myself, because nobody was thinking about that. Another thing is that the size of my locks aren't all even either. I have some locks in the middle of my head that are really thick, some around the perimeter that are really thin, And that's just because of the density of my hair in different areas. And I had to, you know, work around that. Another thing, the length of them. My locks are so many different lengths. I have one lock in the back that's just running its own race, trying to get to the finish line on its own. And then I have some locks that are just not, you know, they don't grow as long and as fast as the other ones. And that's fine. It's fine. You know, it sometimes looks like I have layers when I don't. It's something that I've come to accept. Once your hair gets past a certain length, you can't even really tell. But there was a point in time when the front of my hair was so short because I cut it, because the ends weren't really locking, they were very straggly, so I had cut off the ends of the locks, and then so the fronts were very, very, very short. Like I had little bangs. Now, you can't even tell. That's something that could have discouraged me on my journey in the beginning, but because I just continued on and didn't let it bother me, now it's something that people wouldn't have even known. And that's what I mean about sticking it out and thinking, oh, maybe this journey isn't for me because my locks aren't doing something specific when I want them to. No, they're gonna do what they do. Locks have a mind of their own, and you kind of just have to respect that. As long as you give them love, water, food, they're gonna grow the way that they need to grow, irrespective of what your expectations are of them. One of the other things that I realized I really, really enjoyed, and I'm adding this to the Loc Irregularities list, is that I really enjoyed not retwisting my hair for months at a time. It makes my hair look a bit unruly. My scalp is very fuzzy, frizzy, and all of that. But I know that I don't want my roots to thin out. That's a big deal of mine. I don't want my roots to thin out, and I know that if I retwist too often, they will thin out. So oftentimes I will go plenty of time with not retwisting my hair. My hair looks unruly, but I decided that I had to get over the fact that my hair wasn't perfect all the time. I had to get over needing my parts to look so super duper duper neat, because honestly, the only person that was really caring about that was me. What I've noticed now when I'm like maneuvering, especially with no retwist, and I do different styles. Sometimes I do ponytails, I might do a bun. I don't do too much stuff, you know, tie it up, because I also don't want to pull at my roots. But, you know, whatever styles I do when I don't have a retwist, it's forcing me to be creative, and people don't notice. Like, nobody is like, oh, you need to retwist your hair. Like, I haven't retwisted my hair from before today for like 2.5 months. And a friend of mine yesterday was like, what's wrong with it? My hair was frizzy, like literally just all over the place. Obviously I can tell, okay, it's time. And they're like, what's wrong with it? It looks good, because I had braided it up and let it out and kind of let it be a little wavy. And people think that that is an acceptable style. Nobody looks at my hair and thinks it's unruly the way that I decided it looks. To other people, it just looks like my hair is done. So here I am having all these expectations, thinking I need to have my hair perfect for other people, and other people don't even notice. They don't care. And that's when I decided I'm gonna do what's best for my hair and the health of my hair, regardless of how I think people will react, because most of the time they don't care. One of the things I learned in life, people don't care about you nearly as much as you think they do. They're not thinking about you. They're not really worried about you. Everybody is consumed with their own life, so they're not really consumed with you and your hair. Editing Tasha here. I wasn't trying to say that you're not important. You are loved and important, and you matter, but people aren't constantly judging you. You're constantly judging yourself. And it makes us think that other people are doing it too, when really, people don't really be caring that much. So you know that you're loved, and know that nobody's worried about it. When it looks good, of course, they'll compliment and things like that, but for the most part, nobody's worried. And that's a fact, an absolute fact. I was following Yanni, the lochologist, on here on YouTube for a while when I first started my locks. I learned a lot from her when it came from trying to care for my locks and thinking about keeping things simple, keeping things really simple. I haven't got caught up in the trying to buy tons and tons of products all the time. I've faithfully at least stuck with jojoba oil and rose water this entire time. I did add in conditioner because that's what I realized my hair did need. I did need conditioner. My hair was dry, and since I started using conditioner, that problem has subsided. But when it comes to the mindset about locks, she really tries to like drive it home that like the way that your hair is coming out of your head is beautiful. The way that it's growing is beautiful. You don't have to do no extra stuff. Who you are is your hair coming out of your head the way it is literally who you are. That's the way your body is composed. It's who you are, and the way that it comes out of your head is beautiful enough. And you don't have to force it to try to be something it's not, because it will never be something it's not. By doing something like that, you'll probably compromise the health of your hair. But your healthy hair is beautiful. And they don't have to be aesthetically perfect to be beautiful. One of the things that she always says that she loves like disrespectful locks, when it's super frizzy, when they're thick, and to other people they're not perfect. She calls them disrespectful, and those are beautiful too. And I'm not saying that she would agree with the way my hair is irregularly parted. I'm not saying she'd agree with that, but when I look around at other people, I haven't seen anyone whose locks looks like mine. Literally no one. And that makes me feel amazing. That's the beauty of the loc journey, that we get to be our own person. You learn your patience, you learn your self-acceptance, and you learn how to love yourself completely. It starts with the locks and then moves on to different areas of yourself. And it's an amazing journey. It's the journey. My head of locks is literally one of one. And that's the beautiful part about all of this. I'm gonna be right back, and then I'm gonna show you my hair and what it's looking like at 3 years. We are back. Took all the pins out. I think I got all of them, all the clips. And this is my hair. In the front, it's about armpit length. So that's all I have for today's video. I really want to just get the message across that your hair is your own. If you're just starting your loc journey or you're getting frustrated, just stick it out. Just stick it out. Accepting the way that your hair grows out of your head is one of the fast tracks to self-love and acceptance. I don't know why hair is such like a deeply emotionally connected thing, but it is. No head of hair is like yours. And with all the irregularities that you think your hair has, it's perfect and it's beautiful and it's yours. My last loc video was my 2-year roundup of all the styles I did in year 2. So please check out that video. That video is going to be right here. And if you want to see more loc content from me, you can check out this playlist here. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.